While the official Detroit Lions injury report is not out yet, we'll get more information Wednesday, and then we'll get that final injury report on Friday. There are two guys that we are probably not going to see, and that's one we kind of already knew about, and one, in my opinion, kind of came out of nowhere, and that is DJ Reader and Ifeatu Melifonwu. Neither one of those guys are likely to play on Sunday night's opener, week 1 opener. Now, we knew DJ Reader wasn't, but the Iffy injury, in my opinion, kind of came out of nowhere. I guess I missed it, but it looks like he is not going to be able to go for week 1. Now, at this moment, Iffy is on the 53. Obviously, he is not on IR. Again, the Detroit Lions only have IR is kind of where you can open up a roster spot. That's really when you would go on. So you have 53 on the roster. I believe 46 to 48 dress on game day. And then you have 5 to 7 people that are not even dressed. And if you guys can remember last year, Tracy Walker was one of those guys that as the season and Jerry Jacobs, I think Jerry wound up going on IR eventually near the end of the season. But Tracy Walker was one of those guys who never dressed. He was just inactive. He didn't play. So that could be a situation with Iffy. But what exactly is going on with Ifeatu Melifonwu? This is coming from Pride of Detroit. It says Melifonwu is currently dealing with an Achilles injury, according to Campbell. It's been something that has been lingering for some time, and the healing process. Wow. And they make mistakes too, man. Cut a brother some slack. Y'all be on it. Typos, messes. Look, even the pros make mistakes. And the healing process is slow moving. Campbell has previously mentioned that Melifonwu didn't have a clear recovery time established, and the team needed to take its time and deal with things as they come. On Monday, Campbell said the plan was to test Melifonwu out later in the day, but they are still not sure how far along he is in the recovery process. And that is kind of a big deal, man, because I was looking forward to Iffy continuing his success from last year. I mean, this dude, again, I mentioned this in the earlier video, that Iffy was one of them guys that was going into year 3. I was like, he's remember last year, I believe, as far as I was concerned, heading into the year 3, he was a bubble guy. And he might even been a bubble guy. He makes the team, is nowhere to be found the first half of the season, comes alive, and winds up getting like three interceptions or something crazy like that, or 3. I know he had 3 sacks, but he had a quite a big number of interceptions, and he was the one that sealed the win as we won our first NFC North title back the day, it was Christmas Eve, I believe it was, of last year. So hopefully he gets better. One thing we know about the Detroit Lions is they are not going to rush anyone back. We've seen that before. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Brian Branch, not going to rush anybody back. They're going to give you time to heal. But what about DJ Reader? We knew he was very vague about when he would be back. He said he wanted to be back week 1, but what is happening with him? Coach Campbell says, I would love to say that we're targeting that week 1. We're just going to take it as it comes. Campbell said of Reader ahead of cutdowns. This was a few weeks ago. We'd always said long-term that we were kind of shooting for week 2 versus Tampa Bay. Look, our eyes are open and we're going to pay close attention and see how he goes, or how he does, how he feels, and kind of go from there if it's sooner. Now, we do have depth at that position. Broderick Martin was placed on IR, so unfortunately for him, a developing individual, he's going to miss those snaps. I'm sure we probably would have given him some time too, but we did sign a host of defensive tackles, and this is a good time for Levi to step up and make himself known. Show us why he was that second-round pick, right? Because Aleem McNeil was 3rd in that same draft. Why were you a second-round pick? So he was the 2021 version of Josh Paschal that we took in 2022. And it's time for both of those guys to step up. Now, the question I have is Levi going to play edge at all, or he's going to, focus at that DT position? And don't forget, the Lions also have 1 active roster spot on their 53. That could be a DT or someone else that we could bring up from the practice squad or sign from somebody else's practice squad. We shall see. Now, I'm going to do something that I've been thinking about, and I've got to put it into action. All right. You guys know that if the defensive line gets at least 28 sacks, I'll wear a clown suit, right? I don't know about the face paint, but I'm going to wear the hair, and the outfit, maybe the shoes if I can find them, and maybe the face paint. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep a defensive line counter. It's either going to be defensive line sack counter during my live streams. Okay. I'm also considering doing it's either going to be that or countdown to clown suit. All right. Countdown to clown suit, and we'll have it a little counter as to follow along the progress of the defensive line. Now, this is in video form. I did not change it, so you guys can go back and look at it. All right. Here are the qualifications for me to wear a clown suit. If you are new to the channel, I wasn't a big fan of DJ Reader being injured. Seems like that's what, Brad Holmes, and it's not just one injury. He's coming off of 2 of the same injury in 3 years. So I wasn't confident in his ability to stay healthy. So what I did is I put my proverbial money where my mouth is. And I said as follows: if the defense, you have to have a defensive line designation. If the defensive line gets a total of 28 sacks, DJ Reader must play a minimum of 12 games, and he himself must have 2 sacks. If those 3 things are met, then I will wear a clown suit during, I don't know, probably a video or 2, right? So we'll do that. Now, again, this is all based off of what DJ Reader's defensive line had last year, and it's either 28 or 29. It's one of the 2, but I'll go back and refer to the video. So if that does happen, so let me know which one would you prefer. Countdown to clown suit is kind of very vague, and you would have to be a channel, a avid watcher of the channel to know what that is. Or I could put, defensive line sack total. You know what I'm saying? There. I like the ring of countdown to clown suit. That sounds a lot better, a lot more fun, kind of like being in one of those dunk tanks or something like that. So, but that's what it is. That's what it is. So again, we shall see. But I am hoping that DJ Reader can at least be back for week 2, because that will help. But again, I said this before. It's not how you start. It's how, I'm not tripping that he's missing the first the first game potentially. We'll know later this week. I'm not bothered by that at all. Because I know for him to make the impact we think he's going to make, then he has to be healthy. My thing was, again, going after these injured guys, whether they're good or not, that's not up for debate. It's just the best ability is availability. That's my point. Same thing with Marcus Davenport and everybody else. Look what happened with Emmanuel Mosley, right? You have a series of unfortunate events. It happens, right? But are you ready to label Emmanuel Mosley as injury prone? Put it in the comment section below. What would you classify as injury prone? How would you make the determination if somebody is injury prone? So let me know your thoughts. I feel like people are going to pick countdown to clown suit. But that has a much better ring, but I just, I don't know if it'd be easy for everybody to follow. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. When do you think we'll see Iffy? When do you think we'll see Reader? Both of these guys could be put on IR, but again, the thing about IR, you only have 8 returns. And right now, John Kaminsky is part of that. The 2 that don't count toward that are Mr. Martin and Emmanuel Mosley. The first one, so we only have 7 spots left. So I doubt either one of those guys will go on to the IR, because again, the only reason you would put them to IR is to open up a roster spot. We saw literally John Kaminsky made to 53, stayed on for 24. But then again, he could also have the designation to return. I don't know. I have no idea what's happening with this. So either we have, I have an idea, but it's kind of confusing. So we either have 7 or all 8 spots remaining. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. By the time you're watching this video, the recruit fantasy draft will already happen. If you are an executive member, you might have to get pushed to the director member, because right now we only have 2 teams in that bracket. So you guys might have to join us in the top tier. Let me know your thoughts, man. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.